Good day again from bewitching Glengarry County. I'm 90 years old, Fred Cappuccino, and today's story continues about Machiko, our second child, as recorded in Chapter 3 of that spellbinding book, Bonnie and Her 21 Children. Incidentally, you may have heard about the Russian who was age 106. He started telling people that he really was 75 years old and he was lying when he said he was 106. Someone who knew him well asked him, "Why are you telling people you're 75 when you know you're 106 years old?" He said, "Well, who's going to marry somebody who is 106 years old?" Anyhow, back to the story of Machiko. A tidal wave was flooding over our lives. Robin was 15 months old. Our second child would arrive from Japan in a few days to Los Angeles Airport with Mrs. Miki Sawada, who was bringing 8 children to adoptive homes in America. I should explain that before meeting Bonnie, I had lived in Japan for 3 years, so I knew a little bit of the Japanese language. A friend in the congregation lent us several $100s for plane fare for myself and our new daughter. Armed with the one photo of the child and a small box full of toys, crackers, and other diversions, I flew off to meet Machiko. The other new parents and I met Mrs. Sawada and the children in a reception room at the airport. My eyes immediately focused on a little girl holding a tiny wicker suitcase containing all her earthly belongings. Little hands, sad face, big brown eyes. She was even smaller than I had imagined. So fragile, so delicate. Mrs. Sawada told me privately, "Machiko is my most intelligent child. You are very fortunate." And that was certainly true. I approached her cautiously and told her in my poor Japanese, "I am your father. Can you understand me?" She nodded that she understood. I was overcome with awe and gratitude. What greater gift could Bonnie and I receive than this breathtakingly beautiful child? And what more terrifying responsibility? "This doll is for you." She thanked me in her ominous, quiet Japanese, "Arigato." After I spoke with Mrs. Sawada and sat with Machiko for some time, the party broke up and we all headed to our various return destinations and the airport. Taking Machiko's hand, I walked toward the ticket counter to see about our return flight. After 100 feet or so, she sensed that we were really taking leave of Mrs. Sawada, and Machiko bellowed out for all to hear that she wanted to go back to Mama-san, Mama-san. The sound echoed in the corridors, and everyone in the entire Los Angeles terminal knew I was taking the child against her will. I walked, apprehensive, dragging the screaming child along by the hand. I was rescued by a Japan Airline employee. "You should pick her up," he said, "and hold her. Even if she struggles, it will be better for her." I did so. She was crying less, but squirming all the while I was confirming reservations at the ticket counter. We had several hours until takeoff. We went to a restaurant. When we sat on stools at the counter, she understood that we were going to have something to eat. She quieted down. We each had a hamburger and a glass of milk. She handled the hamburger delicately and ate slowly. When she was finished, she took her napkin and wiped the counter. Then she climbed down from the stool and wiped the seat and back of the stool with a napkin. We arrived back home in Chicago just in time for breakfast, and Machi was welcomed by Bonnie and Robin, who was then 15 months old. Eggs for breakfast. Machi hesitated to eat hers. She was saying something in Japanese. I was finally able to make out that she was hesitating because eggs are for sick children only. I told her it was all right. She could eat her egg even though she wasn't sick. She cleaned the plate, relishing each morsel. We had tomatoes for lunch. Bonnie cut up a large one on Machiko's plate together with the other food. She ate everything. We asked if she wanted anything else. She pointed to the tomatoes. So we gave her a second big one. Finishing that, she wanted another. She ate 3 large tomatoes. A pastor from Japan was staying with us for a few months while he attended seminary in Chicago. We asked him what Machiko meant. He said he would have to see it written. So we fished out the adoption papers written in Japanese, and he looked at them. "Oh, your daughter has a beautiful name," he said. "It means watch, in the sense that Jesus asked his disciples in Gethsemane, watch and wait. It is a beautiful, beautiful name." And now, something totally unrelated. I'm going to sing an Irish song. When I was singing with the seniors one day, I was singing an Irish song, and one lady said, "Fred, you're not Irish. How can you sing those songs?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. What can I do?" So she said, "Well, come over closer." So she was Irish, and so she put her hand on my shoulder and said, "All right, now I make you an honorary Irishman." So this honorary Irishman is going to try to sing the great old air, "Me name is McNamara." Oh, me name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in numbers, we're the finest in the land. We play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play at funerals, we play the march from Saul. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy plays the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy toodles the flute, the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland, it's McNamara's band. Right now we are rehearsing for a very swell affair. The annual celebration, all the gentry will be there. When General Grant to Ireland came, he took me by the hand. He said I never saw the likes of McNamara's band. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy plays the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And the pipes do play, and Hennessy toodles the flute, the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. See you next time.